Hey everybody, Healthy Prepper here. Today's topic is, should you answer the door if you hear a knock? And this is about home invasions. The reason why I'm asking this question to everyone is there's a couple of different philosophies on this out there, and I wanted to get your thoughts and feelings on what you think about this topic. In my neighborhood, personally, there have been 3 home invasions over the last 2 years that I know of. There have been different scenarios. One was a completely empty house. Another house was where a woman was home. And the third house was the folks went out to get some ice cream on a Sunday afternoon, and the glass doors were kicked in the back of the house. So let me just give you some information here on a couple of different things that I've heard and read. You know, there's a couple of different philosophies. Number one is never answer the door if there's a knock and you don't know who the person is. You're not expecting somebody to come over or something like that. And you just don't answer it. And the police, that's actually a recommendation of a lot of the police departments. If you don't know who's at the door, don't answer it. And definitely don't answer the door at night. Now, I can see the logic and why that's a good idea. And I like to follow that philosophy of not answering the door. We do have signs in our neighborhood for people to not solicit, you know, no door-to-door salesman signs, but people still do. And, you know, some are legit and some may not be, but I don't know, but I don't really want to take the chance, so I don't open the door to people I don't know. The other thought is the home invasion tactic some of the criminals are using is to knock on the front door to basically see if anybody's home. And these are often daytime home invasions where they knock to see if you're at work or not. And if there's no answer, then they proceed to break into the house, either by kicking in the front door or breaking a window and entering that way. Now, this actually did happen in my neighborhood to an elderly lady. She was at home. She was actually in the shower and she didn't hear the knock on the door or the doorbell. And they did proceed to kick in her front door and come in. And she actually walked right into them as she was, you know, she came out of the shower with a robe and, you know, towel around her head and just walked out of the bathroom door and walked right into them. And, you know, thankfully for her, she spooked them and they ran off. That was a happy ending. So I can see it can also be concerning if you do not answer the door and the people outside are left thinking there's nobody home. Now, the other side to that is, do you choose not to answer the door, yet let them know they're home, you're home? In other words, you can just say through the door, sorry, I don't answer to strangers, and not answer. Now, that could be a good thing, and they might say, well, there's people here, let's go take an easier target, a house that's empty. Or would they say, I'm after that person in there. For some reason, you know, I want to do harm to that person, so I know they're home, and I'm going in. Okay, so those are some scenarios to ponder. Now, I read one instance where a gentleman was home alone by himself, and he heard somebody ringing the doorbell and knocking on the door repeatedly over and over again, and he refused to answer. Eventually he heard kicking on the door, and he became afraid, and he went and sequestered himself into his room, and he locked the door. I do not know if he had a weapon or not, but it did not say in the story. But apparently after he heard the door being kicked, he heard a window break. And he became very scared. He did call 911, and the police came, and the perpetrator was already gone and apparently did not get into the premises. So that was a happy ending, and he was lucky. Now, there's a different scenario, another tactic that they're using to gain entry to your house is the person in distress. Somebody might come knocking on the door or ringing the doorbell any time of the day, or it could be late at night. It could be a female voice saying she needs help, she's being attacked, she's being chased, she needs to call 911, something like that, playing on the softer side of people, trying to get them to help her when really it's just a staged attack for you to open the door and allow entry. This apparently is being used a lot all over as well. Now, What can you do in these certain circumstances? In my circumstance, as you can see, I have a glass front door, which is totally useless for protection, but I've gone ahead and covered it. But in front of that, I've put a gate. And I've already shown this on a video. I'll just show you a quick secret from here. See out there, I put a gate. And so they can't even get to the front door. And strangely enough, I did put a doorbell outside of the gate, and it only works half the time. So honestly, I wouldn't even know if they were ringing the doorbell out there. But that actually works out better for me. I don't have to worry about it as much. But there are some other devices that you can get. One is called driveway patrol, which you put outside of your house on your front walkway or on your driveway, and it will give you a little bell or an alarm inside your house letting you know ahead of time when somebody's coming up your driveway or up your front walk. I've purchased them. They're not expensive. You can buy them on eBay or Amazon for I think 20 or 30 bucks, something like that. What else? So basically, oh, and obviously a peephole. You know, you can do the old-fashioned peephole just to see who's there. And I guess the ace in the hole would be, you know, personally for me, I'm going to be a lot less worried or a lot less concerned as long as I'm armed inside the house. I think that's my safest advantage. You know, all the hardening of the house is one thing, and it's very important and very critical and crucial, but they're only deterrents. You know, they're not fail-safes, and truly nothing is a fail-safe. You just, you know, kind of have to hope that everything works as it should. But, you know, your weapon doesn't fail. You have good aim, things like that if somebody does break into your house. Make sure you know the laws in your individual states. You know, do you live in a town with castle doctrine where you can protect yourself in your own home? If anybody attempts to break in, that's considered they're going to do harm to you. You know, make sure you read the laws in your particular state and become familiar with them. Whether you choose to, you know, have a weapon with you or not, you know, I certainly respect everybody's decision, but certainly make a plan. What if that knock at that door comes? What am I going to do? How am I going to protect myself and my family? Should I be concerned? Is this going to over the top? Are we becoming a paranoid society thinking that every knock at the door is some evil being meaning to do us harm? You know, I'd love to hear your ideas on what you think. How do you deal with your knocks at the door? What do you think? Do they make you feel nervous? Are you totally okay with them? Do you live back in the day of you don't even lock your doors because you just don't worry about it and you don't want to be concerned about that sort of thing? Anyway, I'd love to hear what you guys are doing out there. As I said, I don't. I put the gate in front of the doors so I don't get the knock, and that seemed to help for me, at least from the front of the house. So there you go, guys. Let's hear what you've got to say. I'm always curious, and I learned so much from you too. So take care, everybody. Sorry for the twittering birds.